Welcome to our first interview of the 2026-2027 season. I'm delighted to be joined by Chris Allen, manager of Devizes Town. Chris, fantastic to see you as always. The last time I saw you was a celebratory evening in Torquay, obviously celebrating the exploits of last season. Have you recovered?
Yeah, finally recovered from that. That was a great night. Obviously enjoyed it. It was a great night put on by the Western League, and everyone had a great time. Fully recovered now and ready to go for the new season.
Because in all seriousness, the heroics of last season and the achievements of last season, now you're in preparations for this new season, they don't count for anything, do they?
No, absolutely not. We're starting again now, and we know that we've got probably slightly different to the last couple of years. We've got a little bit of a rebuild on our hands now, and we knew that would probably be the case. Moving leagues, going up a level, that brings its own challenges to every team that happens to, and we're no different. We've lost quite a few players, haven't been able to get anyone in through the door just yet, and obviously that's our priority over the next 2 or 3 weeks now.
Obviously it's difficult any time going up a level. Is it frustrating that players have left from the group, or actually would there need to be a rebuild, going into season in step 5?
I think you'd always have to or want to freshen it up every season, regardless. So I think we knew that was going to happen to a certain extent anyway. I don't have any problems with the lads that have left. They've all left for very good reasons and personal reasons that mean that it's just more beneficial for them to probably play more locally next year. And as I said, we've got no complaints or arguments with that. The lads that have left were excellent for us. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of the ones that have left were based in Bristol. And so the travelling does become a lot more difficult for them now in the Hellenic Prem, and there's so many sides in Bristol in the Western League that they could go to, and I absolutely understand their decisions, and we kind of knew that could happen if we did get promoted, so it's not a surprise. Probably been slightly more tricky getting players in at the moment, if I'm being completely honest, but we've got to a stage now where we've got such a strong core group of players that we are being very particular and very fussy about players that we're trying to bring in now. So anybody that comes in obviously has to improve the group that we've already got, and that's what we're looking to do in the coming weeks.
How different are your pre-season preparations this season to what they were last season? Obviously you're going up a level and you're going to be in a new league, the Hellenic League.
Yeah, preparations are pretty much the same. We're just working with a smaller group, to be honest. I think this time last year we were probably working with a first team squad of maybe 20-21 players, and we're currently at 13, 14 first team players. So as I keep saying, that's our task over the next few weeks during pre-season. It's the lads that we've got are brilliant. They're a great group of lads, and now we need to add a bit of quality in there as well if we can, and add to the group that we've already got. But priority is get these boys fit and then add some new additions along the way as well.
And what about your pre-season opponents? Have you had to think differently about the teams that you've wanted to play in the practice games?
Yeah, we tried to get teams at all different levels. I think it's a really hard and tough pre-season schedule, especially considering that the group is so small at the moment. So we played Warminster on Saturday. We go to Longwell Green tonight, who are obviously now would have been the same level last season, but now one below. Then Saturday we play Bemerton Heath, who are the same level as us now, and then we go into a really difficult period of playing 3 Southern League sides on the spin in Hungerford, Melksham and Larkhall, so a tough week.
But an exciting prospect for the fans, who obviously are looking to sort of get back into it. I mean, it doesn't feel that it's been that long since we were. In fact, you and I were together at the Les Phillips Cup final doing the match commentary, and of course the weather would show that really perhaps we should be playing a bit more cricket and a little bit less football. Yeah,
it soon comes round. I think all managers say you don't get any time off really. It's probably the busiest time, the off season, in terms of your phone going off constantly and trying to sort out what players are doing and getting players in and players out and things like that. But hopefully the fans are looking forward to coming back this Saturday. First home game against Bemerton Heath on Saturday, and then as I said, we then go into a really, really tough spell of games where our fitness is going to be tested massively in those games.
one of the features of Devizes Town, certainly in recent seasons, has been the incredible support that the players enjoy off the field. Obviously, your focus is on the group on the field, but it's watching the team is obviously an exciting prospect for the supporters. But we have to mention the incredible volunteers here who have not only do we see their work in the stadium improvements, but the match day experience here. The match day team here, I think, is unrivalled at our level of football.
Yeah, it is. We're really lucky. We've got such a big group of committee members and volunteers that when it comes to a match day, there's always enough people to do more than enough jobs, you know. And I'd imagine at some clubs that's very difficult to find, where some clubs probably only have 2 or 3 volunteers on a match day, whereas we can have anywhere up to 8 or 10 on a Saturday volunteering to do various different jobs. And yeah, it's excellent. It's not just match days, it's obviously the World Cup fan zone that's been going on over the last few weeks. The amount of hours that people have been putting into that volunteering and doing bar work, and especially the England game just gone, the time that was taking place. And yeah, as I say, it's a great time to be part of the club. This season on the pitch, it's going to be a little bit of a different season for us to what it has been over the last few years. But we do have to remember who we are and where we have come from. We will always try and progress the club year on year, as I've always said. But we've been a Step 6 club for 3 years that want to compete at the top of that level. We're realistic enough now to know that getting to Step 5, we are going to have to just steady the ship for maybe 1 season, maybe 2 seasons, who knows, before we can then look to try and really compete to get promotion again.
Have you got a target in your mind for where you want to finish this season? What would be a successful season for you?
Well, a successful season would be to maintain our status at Step 5 for the following season. I'm obviously set high standards and I'm very ambitious, so I don't want us to finish second or third from bottom if it just means scraping to avoid relegation. But ultimately, come the end of the season, it would still be a success for us to stay in that division again. We want to stay in that division and then gradually improve and in a few years' time, hopefully compete towards the top of that division. But I personally would set my standards slightly higher, and I would love to say that a mid-table finish for us would be something that we're looking for. But ultimately, the main focus is staying in the division for the following year again.
Well, Chris, as always, the very best of luck, and up the town.
Cheers, Ian. Thank you.